Regional Cup that they gave up after losing 5-1 in Albany to Sorrento last season, but they regain it off the back of today's 1-0 wins, take a 3-2 lead overall after 5 regional meetings between the sides. So that's just about all from me this afternoon here in the NPLWA men's fixture between Perth Glory FC and Sorrento FC. It's the Glory who've won out by a 1-0 thanks to a goal from Josh Anasmo. It moves them to within 1 point of the top 4 as we approach the second half of the season and the rush towards finals. Hyundai NTC and Fremantle City to come straight after the conclusion of this presentation in the NPLWA women's competition. But for now, we'll allow the presentations to take over and we'll be back with you in around 10 or 15 minutes time for the NPLWA women's game.
Get to know this place, and yeah, it was an unbelievable game. Well done to Sorrento, put up a great fight, but glad to get out of the win today. Thanks, Giordano. Thanks to Glory for coming across as well, Sorrento. We can please welcome City of Greater Geraldton there, Shane Van Sint, and Football West CEO James Curtis to make a presentation to the winning team of the 2021 Regional Cup. Hyundai NTC with Fremantle City kicking off shortly.
Hi everyone, welcome back to One Feller Oval here in Geraldton for the second game of our NPLWA doubleheader as part of the Regional Festival of Football. It's the turn of the NPLWA women's players this evening as the Hyundai NTC face off against Fremantle City in a clash between two sides on different form lines, looking to end the weekend in a top 4 spot.
I'm honoured today to be here on our ancestral tract of land, Southern Youngster people, and would like to acknowledge that they make up the First Nation people, who are the traditional custodians of this land which we work and live in. I also recognise their continuing connection to the land, water and community, whose cultures are among the oldest living cultures in human history, and recognise their strength, resilience and capacity to all Aboriginal Torres Strait Islander people. We pay our respects to our elders past, present and emerging as they hold the memories, the traditions and cultures and hopes. I'd also like to acknowledge the hard work for the football staff, Tanya and her crew, for putting this on today for our community, and acknowledge that we have Lara Dalton, who's our Labor member, and Shane Van Stein, our mayor, to this event. And good luck to the ladies. Welcome to Jamboree.
Gray is the Regional Manager of the Department of Local Government, Sport and Cultural Industries, and will be tossing the coin today.
It's the turn of the women's NPLWA competition in the second game of our NPLWA doubleheader here at One Feller Oval. NTC coming into this game on a 3-game winning streak and unbeaten in 4 games overall after a tricky start to the season. They've motored their way into 3rd spot in the table and just 1 point behind defending champions Mum FC and 4 points off the leaders Northern Redbacks. Having narrowly missed out on a top 4 spot in 2020, Ben Anderton's team will be hoping 3 points can solidify their place in the playoff picture. Fremantle City, they are on a 3-game winless run but bounced back from 2 losses with a point last Friday after a much improved performance against Balcatta. Their task is made a little harder tonight by the absence of skipper Michaela Lyons, but City proved last season their run to the top 4 cup that they are capable of putting on a strong run of form, and they'll be hoping that starts tonight with 3 points guaranteeing them the opportunity to leapfrog above the NTC and back into the postseason positions. So earlier today, the men's fixture, in case you're joining us late, it was Perth Glory 1, Sorrento FC 0. A big win for the Glory, which moves them back to within a point of the top 4. Joshua Nasmo with the goal there. And we're also going to have the same officiating team this afternoon as well, although with the roles slightly reshuffled. Jess Bird will move from assistant in the first game to charge of the whistle in the middle of this women's clash, and David Bruce and Simon Hicks will run the touchline. This is one of 2 games on the Football West YouTube channel and Facebook pages this evening, along with Perth Soccer Club and Murdoch University Melville at Dorrien Gardens. 4th versus 2nd, 3rd versus 5th in a big weekend of football for the top 4 shake-up potentially. 2 games to follow tomorrow to complete round 8, with the Redbacks playing Balcatta And Subiaco playing curtain in a battle between two teams looking to get their first wins of the campaign. Fremantle City just about to be set and ready to go after final message. NTC still gathered in their huddle. And now they break as they look to extend their winning streak here in Geraldton. Good to see the crowd has stayed behind from the men's game. Good atmosphere here at One Thella Oval. The conditions are dry for the time being. Another important game to whet your appetite on your Saturday night here in the West. A great afternoon here in country WA despite the conditions at stages throughout the afternoon, but there's still plenty to sort out as two young sides meet with 3 points key, even at this stage of the season with winter on the horizon. The top four is once again in focus in the women's game. On the Football West platforms, we're off and we're underway with Fremantle City in possession at the moment. They're playing in their all maroon kit, kicking to the left of your stream, while the NTC are playing in their yellow shirts and the black shorts, kicking to the right. And they're looking to get on the front foot early through Judy Connolly on this left-hand side. She just lost a little bit of touch on the ball there. And it's in the end, it stayed alive. In fact, it didn't. It will be an NTC throw. Last touch there was off Kayla McCulloch. And now Thadlana. Prinsloo. Nice little move to get away from Laura Waltman. It's Monique Prinsloo who's crossing. The last touch there was off Aya Bent-Trinder there, and behind it will go for a corner to the NTC. Corner taken quickly there by Cameron Barrero. It'll be slung in towards the back post by Georgia Cassidy, and no teammate was arriving, and the move broke down. A chance for City to reset. McCulloch looked to find Bridger. Last touch off an NTC player, and McCulloch will go over to take the throw. Fremantle City started this season really well, actually. They won their first 3 games of the campaign. They sat at the summit of the division early on, but 2 losses and a draw in their past 3 have put them back down to the 5th place. So arresting that slide and getting a win on the board will be vitally important today. It will move them back into the top 4 above the NTC if they do get the 3 points as discussed. Coral Boxy will leave it for a teammate, and then the Dio tried to slide in and win the ball back. It was a good effort, although possession is now turned over now, and coming forward was Johnston. She's got Prinsloo wide right here. Cross comes into the area. Lincoln was lurking, and the clearance was made and out for a throw. Cassidy, Johnston, Annabelle Leake. Georgia Ireland trying to turn that one around the corner there for Waltman, but the ball just drifted out of play. Here's Lily Bailey, who's off her line, and she's pressured there by Fremantle City forward. Took a chance there, and now the NTC will counter through Prinsloo. Arriving there was Lincoln, and now Connolly will try and get Boots a ball. It's still half alive here for the NTC, but Fremantle City can deal with the danger. And now Waltman will look for the feet of Ireland. Thadlana. McKenna. Stepping in there was Claire Woods. In vain, though, as the NTC maintain the possession of the ball. It's little triangles at the back early on, trying to maintain the possession. That pass from Barrero was a little short, though. It allowed McCulloch to step in, although she had the help of a teammate there to defuse the situation. Ireland was putting the pressure on Isabella Wallhead there. And then Ireland went to ground. Of course, a little bit of heavy rain in the last game, the men's fixture. And heavy rain for the past 2 games overall, or the past 2 days, apologies, in general. So the pitch has done fairly well to hold up. Good to see conditions a little calmer at the moment. A little bit of breeze in the air. Sun is out as well and the floodlights on as we get this twilight match started here in Geraldton. Johnston goes back for Wallhead. It was McKenna. Apologies. Now here's Wallhead, who's turning away and calmly going back to her keeper, Lily Bailey. NTC determined to play out from the back. It works out pretty well for them so far as Wilma Thadlana passes in board. It's a little wayward though, and Ireland goes to ground. Still here for Claire Woods. If she can get the ball out of her feet, she does. And now McCulloch will come forward. She'll cross into the area. Stepping in there was Barrero, the captain. And now Connolly looks for Thadlana again, who's been busy and in the action earlier, but poking away there was Annabelle Leake, who was a regular starter for City last season, 14 appearances and 3 goals. Just the 1 goal this season on the opening day against Murdoch University Melville. A game which they did win, and that really did catch the eyes of many across the competition, given that Mum FC are heavy favourites this season and they're obviously the defending champions. Last 3 games haven't quite gone to plan though, although they have started pretty well here. As Campo goes wide for Bridger, and now McCulloch. Good football from Fremantle City as Bridger continued her run forward from centre back. Ball was played forward looking for Woods, but it was a little wayward, and now Wallhead will clear long and upfield. Johnston. Ball out wide here for Tanisha Baker, who loves running with the ball at her feet. Will remember that solo goal she scored against Subiaco a couple of weeks back from the halfway line. She ran and she ended up slamming it into the near post. Turnover in midfield. Ball won by McKenna. Forward now is Prinsloo, who's been dangerous early. Cut back for Ella Lincoln, who just puts it the wrong side of the post, and NTC with the first chance of the evening here. Lovely movement from the forward to cut across her opposite marker there. Doing what all good centre forwards should do and run across the defender, and she was unlucky to put that one the wrong side of the post. Good work from Monique Prinsloo, who's put in a couple of good crosses into the area so far tonight. Now Tian McKenna, tough 50-50 there between her and Ireland. Now Ireland again, who started the season in real good goal-scoring form, netting in the first 3 games, and all 3 of those games were wins, of course. Hasn't scored since then, though, unfortunately. The 3 goals for Ireland this season. She's already surpassed her tally from last year. 2 goals in 12 games in 2020. Both of them scored in a 5-0 win over Curtin all the way back in round 2. So she's hit the ground running this time round. Multiple Football West Team of the Week appearances as well for Ireland this season. Cassidy's ball over the top. Prinsloo's in behind the defence again, and she'll cross low and into the area. It'll go through everybody in the end. I don't think Schroeder expected it to run all the way through, but she was lucky that there was no NTC player arriving at the back post to put that one in. Strike at goal is partially charged down and into the grateful hands of Schroeder. Ball over the top here now. Woods has stayed onside from Ireland's pass here. It's Claire Woods into the area who strikes. Oh, it's hit the post and gone straight across the goal line. Well, it looks as though Bailey was watching that wide, and it ended up ricocheting off the inside of the post and away to safety. Nervous moment there at the back for the youngsters. Cassidy. Inboard from McKenna. Stepping in there, Wallhead. Now Nadio, Fremantle City. After that chance, showing, got a little bit of confidence going about them at the moment. Bailey gets the ball stuck under her feet. It's allowed Ireland to step in, and the goalkeeper gets away with one there, I think. Now the clearance forward's a good one because it set Prinsloo away again, who's been one of the most dangerous players of the evening so far, and she's to the byline again and crossing. Schroeder palms away, and then getting there first was Leak, I think it was, back there defending, who put in a crucial boot and towed it away for a throw. With both Johnston and Connolly arriving on the edge of the area. Action at both ends in this first 11 minutes here at Wanthella Oval. Hyundai NTC 0, Fremantle City 0, live on the Football West YouTube channel and Facebook pages tonight. Round 8, women's NPLWA action. Turned into a beautiful evening for football all of a sudden, as Waltman slides in and NTC stay on the front foot. Johnston's cross aimed in towards Baker, who got her head to it, and Nadio will help it away. And now Cassidy will swing a left boot at it, and she didn't catch it. Very tough one to try and control from that sort of distance, but in the end, it was wide of Schroeder's goal. Schroeder plays that one short and out for a throw over on that far side. So a little lapse in concentration, and there. And as a result, Fremantle City will have a corner to defend. Should be taken by their captain, Cameron Barrero. One of the leaders of this young side. WA state rep as well. Johnston. Ball drifts out for a goal kick once more. Nadio. Woods has got a little bit of space over on this far side. She opts to bring Bridger into the game, and then her ball forward was a little overhit for McCulloch, who continued her run forward. Two meetings between these teams last season in the inaugural NPLWA women's competition. Fremantle City losing by 6 goals to 1 at Warhop Park early in the season. That was part of their slow start before their late season charge towards the top 4 cup final. And then they got their revenge over the NTC with a 2-0 win at Celebration Park in round 11. McKenna goes all the way back to Bailey. Wallhead. Nathalana. Prinsloo. Pass was a little short for Connolly, but NTC will keep the ball. And aside from those 2 league meetings last season, both of these teams actually met in the 2020 Night Series final. That one was played as part of an NPL men's and women's doubleheader at Inglewood Stadium. Fremantle City winning on that day to take the first piece of silverware in the NPLW era. 3-0 win that day with goals from Isabel Bridger, who was on the pitch this evening, of course, and the other 2 goals were scored by Gemma Crane and Jamie Lee Smith, who have since departed to Perth and Curtin University, respectively. Buxy played the ball out wide for McCulloch, who's going to chase after this one and get there ahead of Baker. Trying to weave a yard of space, but ran out of real estate over on that far side, and Bailey will get us restarted with a goal kick. It'll likely go short because that's what the NTC tend to do, and there we go again. Here's McKenna. Back for Bailey. NTC looking very composed on the ball in these early stages, although pass from Thudlana sent Bailey into trouble. That's lovely distribution out the back there, though, to escape the danger as NTC play through the lines, but fall short as Buxy looks for the run of Woods, and that too is a little overhit. So after a frantic first 10 minutes or so with opportunities at both ends, it's been a little more settled in recent minutes, albeit not without its nervy moments playing out of the back from the NTC. Thudlana goes to ground and gets the decision under the pressure of Annabelle Lee. McKenna and now Cassidy. Last touch was off Nadio. Fremantle's captain today, Steffi Nadio, who wears the armband in place of Michaela Lyons. Player who played in the back 4 for the majority of last season, but has stepped into the holding midfield role this campaign. Former state team rep and ex-NTC youth player as well as Nadio, as well as a Coburn City junior. Campo. Cassidy puts in a touch. Lovely switch to play out wide here. Will invite McCulloch forward, and she's got acres of space here. Put the cross into the area. Bailey is backpedaling, and strong hands from the goalkeeper to claim that one under the pressure of Woods. Once again, the NTC remain insistent on playing out from the back. That's a nice ball from Thudlana. Touch was a little heavy from McKenna, unusually. And now Fremantle City can retain control of the ball once more. Lincoln was putting the pressure on. Out of harm's way, though, as far as Fremantle City are concerned, albeit only for the time being. Connolly, Baker, and now Barrero gets involved. She'll check back and look for McKenna. Pass was a little short. Cassidy can mop up, and now Wallhead's going to have to retreat and keep this one in under no real pressure. Bailey slips and nearly allows Ireland in. It's still here for Fremantle City. Ireland was offside, though. And in the end, she put it wide anyway, but that was a real nervous moment for the NTC. Yet again, Bailey slipped on the surface and Wood stepped in and it landed at the feet of Ireland, who couldn't stay onside. Wouldn't have counted anyway, but yes, again, another warning of NTC and the pressure that's been put on them in terms of playing out from the back. And here goes Ireland again, who does really well to find Woods with the ball. It's Claire Wood striking, and it's straight at Lily Bailey. You sense that the chances that are going the way of Fremantle City are at the undoing of the NTC's ability to play out from the back. They've been pressed really hard by Cisco Yoquera's team. Yoquera, who was promoted to the head coach role this season, having assisted Thomas Richard in 2020. Thomas Richard, who's now upstairs in a technical role higher up. A name who's synonymous with the club and has been part of City for a long time. And his team are on the front foot here as Bailey comes off her line. Ireland was hooking towards goal again, and in the end the goalkeeper did enough, and Fremantle City will have a corner. So it was a blistering start from the NTC early on. Fremantle City are responding, looking to break their three-game winless run. It's Ireland's ball in. It's a high hoisted one, and it's disappointing and behind the goal, unfortunately. Baker. Looking for Lincoln. Went through both her and Bridger. Forward from Schroeder, and now Nadio will try and pass through there for Ireland, who is coming back from an offside position. Wood steps in and takes the ball off Thudlana, and then the fullback fouls the Fremantle City number 26. And this will be a good opportunity now for the for Fremantle City to send some bodies forward to attack the set piece. Isabel Bridger arrives at the back post. It's Waltman's ball, and it's in towards the near post. It's gathered by Bailey. Too close to the goalkeeper on that occasion, and she'll look to set Thudlana away, who slips as she tried to pass the ball forward. Waltman will emerge with the ball. She gets it back from Campo. And now Johnston will look to get the NTC on the front foot. McKenna. Cassidy has to wait for the ball. Barrero's over on that far side. If she can get it out to her, she can't. And then Woods tried to find Ireland. Bridges ball forward. McCulloch does well. Skipping away is Tanisha Baker, who gets past two defenders. It's still Baker who's going. She's driving in. Baker to the byline. Pull back for Prinsloo. And Monique Prinsloo opens the scoring here in Geraldton after a wonderful assist from Tanisha Baker down the left-hand side. The NTC have won 3 in a row and they're ahead here now. NTC 1, Fremantle City 0. So NTC lead after a tremendous run down the left from Tanisha Baker. We touched on her solo goal against Subiaco a couple of weeks ago. And on this occasion, she got to the byline and put it across the 6-yard box for Monique Prinsloo, who couldn't miss from there. Prinsloo's 4th goal of the season. All scored in the last 4 games. So she's found form, and now the NTC are buoyed by that opening goal, and it's Lincoln trying to make something happen. It's Bridger who steps in. Jesper lets play continue, although possession's turned over to McKenna. Waltman. Leak, and now Campo. Johnston's putting the pressure on. It's good pressure from the NTC midfielder, and now Connolly will try and release Prinsloo or Lincoln. Lincoln, in fact it was Cassidy who got there and put the boot in on Campo, and the last touch was off the Fremantle City defender. McKenna. Connolly spinning away. Looking for Johnston. It went through everybody in the end, and now the All Maroons of Fremantle City can come away again. Connolly. Back for Barrero, and the NTC will try and settle things down again. Johnston turns around the corner for Prinsloo, who's away down the right again. Monique Prinsloo's pullback. Lincoln and Johnston were both arriving, but Waltman should get there first from the clearance. Former gold medal winner Laura Waltman are tied with Gemma Crane and Sean Billum for the Best Player of the Competition award back in 2019, and now Woods is away at the other end. It's Claire Woods who's striking, and Claire Woods finds the equaliser, and Fremantle City hit back promptly here in Geraldton. They tied up at a goal apiece. Claire Woods' first goal of the season has pulled Fremantle City level here at Wanthella Oval. Well, we've seen in the opening 28 minutes that Both teams were really having a go at this, and chances were coming at both ends, and both teams have netted in the first half an hour as McKenna's racing after this one again, and Schroeder was able to get there in the nick of time. So a lively opening half hour here. Monique Prinsloo's goal was cancelled out by Claire Woods' equaliser a moment or two ago, and it's 1-1 here. On the Football West YouTube channel and Facebook pages this evening, Tommy Dolman with you on the call. And now Ella Lincoln will try and race onto this pass from Baker. It's Ella Lincoln who's onside. She's rounded Schroeder. She's gone a little wider. Now Johnston will strike. Prinsloo's arriving. And clearing off the line there was the Fremantle City defender who got back in the nick of time. That was Aya Bent Trinder, who was in the right place at the right time to deal with that situation. Waltman tries to wriggle away from Johnston, who goes to ground. Play continues. Sedlana's leading the race back, and she should be able to deal with this one pretty comfortably. Bailey's got pressure coming from Woods, who's had to put in a pile of work up front, and that pressure isn't rewarded with a throw, unfortunately, for her. She thought she had a pretty good case there. Jess Bird had a better angle. Foul by Cassidy on Woods, and Fremantle City set piece. So earlier today, Perth Glory 1, Sorrento FC 0 in the men's. It's 1-1 here in the women's game. And it'll be Eva Campo over this free kick. 5 players forward here for Fremantle City. It's hoisted in towards the back post. The header must have come off Bridger there, I think, because the goal kick has been pointed for after a moment of hesitation. Danger signs again here as Bailey makes the error. And then in the nick of time, I think it was Wallhead who got across, but NTC playing themselves into trouble once more. Does come with its risks, does playing out from the back, as admirable as it is. And it was nearly their undoing there as Fremantle City have the corner. Over on the far side, it's aimed towards the penalty spot. It's Woods who was under the ball. It's Bridger at the back post. It's Nadio who's striking. And then Connolly stepped in and her teammate Johnston helped to complete the clearance. Out to Barrero, who tries to release the pacey Baker again. And now Tanisha Baker will try and wriggle away from a couple of challenges. She does and crosses into the area. Campo's got to deal with it. Prinsloo's putting the pressure on, and then the clearance was made by Campo ultimately. Cassidy couldn't keep the ball alive, and Fremantle will earn the throw-in. Pass from Thadlana, a little errant again, and Annabelle Leake can step in. Now Woods. Woods' ball was over the top. It may run through to McCulloch here, who's coming from an onside position, so flag won't go up here. And now it's pulled back for Ireland, who digs out the cross. Wallhead heads clear. Still here for Fremantle City. Ireland will pull back. She'll look in board for her teammate, but can't quite pick her out. It was Annabelle Leake who was on the edge of the penalty area. Bridger, that's a lovely ball forward for Ireland, who can try and keep this one in play. She does dig out the cross and she does win the corner. Conditions notably cooler in the way that this first half has progressed. Thankfully, though, the rain has managed to stay away for the first 34.5 minutes of this one here. Stray ball has come on the pitch, leading to a slight delay, and now the corner will come in from Ireland. It's, goodness me, it was fizzing dangerously towards the goal of Bailey, but over the bar it went, much to her relief. Lily Bailey actually earning the NTC's first clean sheet in the NPLW era a couple of weeks ago in that 5-0 win against Subiaco. They didn't keep one in 2020. That was their 19th game in the NPLW era, so good steps of progress there from this young side. Meanwhile, at the other end, it's Dale Schroeder in goal. Actually had 7 clean sheets in her 14 games last season, which is just about a competition best overall. But City are yet to keep a clean sheet in 2021, and they were in danger of conceding another chance potentially there as Lincoln tried to wriggle away, and it'll be Ben Trinder who goes into Jess Bird's notebook, the first yellow card of the evening for a tug of Lincoln's shirt. Got Cassidy's ball in. It's close to Schroeder and comfortably gathered by Schroeder. Distribution, though, a little wayward, although it'll work out okay as Campo tries to turn around the corner for Waltman. Johnston keeps it alive, and now Prinsloo. McKenna. Cassidy's got to hurry because she's under pressure from Ireland, and now Georgie Ireland will steal in, but she's got to wait for the supporter to arrive, and that allowed Cassidy to keep hustling her, and in the end, it's led to a scramble in midfield, a scramble won by Fremantle City, and now McCulloch will come forward once more down that right-hand side. She's getting plenty of joy down there in the first 45 minutes, but on this occasion, she isn't able to put the ball in. And now it's forward for Lincoln, who's one-on-one with Ben Trinder, getting past her, and then the cavalry arrives for Fremantle City to defuse the situation. Been a good game, this one. Good tempo from both teams, not without its shaky moments at the back from both sides, but that's what makes this one entertaining ultimately, as Cassidy's ball forward lands at the feet of Prinsloo. Waltman tries to get a foot in, still Prinsloo, now Tian McKenna. A combination of Campo and Waltman get it away, only as far as Wilma Thirdliner, who's made mainly cameo appearances with the first team in her time with the NTC setup. Woods' ball is poked wide, and McCulloch won't be able to keep that one in on this occasion. Kayla McCulloch, who was in every matchday squad last season, scoring the 1 goal against Subiaco, in terms of a senior goal anyway. Now Nadio, she'll pick up on strike, just back on McCulloch quickly. She made mainly senior cameos in 2020, but she's been a little bit more involved in this campaign. She actually scored the opening goal in the women's under-23 top 4 final last season. A game that Fremantle City won 2-1 at under-23 level. Unfortunately, it wouldn't be a double for City that day, as the Redbacks beat the senior team in the meeting between the same sides in the senior top 4 cup final. A game at which Morgan Aquino starred in, and Northern Redbacks won 2-1 on penalties. Woods' ball forward. Ireland may have been offside. It probably won't matter anyway. Cassidy. Back for Wallhead. Wallhead, who actually scored the NTC's first goal in the NPLW era with a header from the corner in the opening game against Curtin last season. A 2-2 draw there. Connolly. Ball forward gives Johnston and Lincoln something to chase, but Isabel Bridger was in the right place to deal with that one. So into the final 5 minutes of the half, it's Fremantle City 1, NTC 1. It's Tanisha Baker who's charging down the left, and last touch was off her and behind for a goal kick. Fremantle City, who have been Fremantle City essentially since 2015, when they had the merger between Fremantle United and East Fremantle Tricolour. That was in the overall club context. In the women's context, they were previously East Fremantle out at Warhop Park before becoming Fremantle City back in 2018. Connolly, McKenna, pass for Johnston here, who helps it onto Prinsloo, who can't get the better of Campo on that occasion. Clearance is only as far as Cassidy. And then the switch of the play from Cassidy was a dangerous one, but a good one, because Barrero will come away with the ball. Lily Bailey is very high off her line, out of your picture. Very much playing in that role of sweeper keeper. She may have to think about retreating shortly, though, as Fremantle City turn over or win the ball back. Clearance up the line from Campo, and NTC will earn the throw. Sodlana retreats back for Bailey. Campo. Nanadio. Bridger. Ball forward here looking for Woods or Ireland. It's snuffed out by Wallhead, and now Johnston will hoist one over the top for the run of Prinsloo. Schroeder should be able to watch that enter the penalty area, to which she's then able to pick up. Distribution was good to Waltman. Waltman, who's playing left back today, but scored twice in the 3-0 or 3-1 win over Curtin University earlier in the season. As we touched on before, a very good player, former gold medal winner, of course, in that three-way tie with Billam and Crane. McKenna. Stepping in Woods. Now McCulloch. Now she's got Annabelle Leake down this right-hand side, who switched wings, and she'll try and get the better of Barrero, but Barrero sticks to the task and concedes the corner. Corner taken short. Cross comes in, but it's a disappointing delivery. Waltman will retrieve on the far side. Pass from Bentrinder was straight at Prinsloo, and that may set Lincoln away now, who's down this left-hand side. She'll try and feed it back in for Prinsloo, who got her boot to the ball. It may yet break for Lincoln, who's still out there, but Nadio will put him to touch. And whilst that action was happening, the fourth official put up his board for 2 more minutes to end the first half. Time perhaps for another chance for either team. Cross comes in from Baker. It's aimed deep at Prinsloo, who has the ball at her feet and will try to make something happen. Third Lana. Ball over the top, was looking for Baker. It missed her, although NTC should still be able to maintain possession here. Thodlana, she's got plenty of room to run into. She'll look up. She's got McKenna to her right. Tian McKenna. Sister of Letitia, of course, who played in the most recent W League season with the Brisbane Roar. McKenna also playing in the W League with the Glory. Jess Bird has a quick look at her watch. Don't think there'll be too much more time left in this one to end the first 45 minutes. Here's McKenna again. Out to third liner, and that'll be the last action of the first half. A pretty good game here at Wanthella over in Geraldton. Not without its shaky moments, but plenty of efforts from both teams at either end. It was Monique Prinsloo who opened the scoring. She netted for a 4th game in a row after a wonderful assist down the left-hand side from Tanisha Baker, where she got to the byline and put the ball across the goal. But Fremantle City had chances of their own and managed to equalise pretty soon after from Claire Woods, who rifled in at the near post, and that's how it stayed. After 45 minutes here in Geraldton, it's Fremantle City 1, NTC 1. We're back with the second half shortly, live on the Football West YouTube channel and Facebook pages. Welcome back to Geraldton for the second half of this round 8 NPLWA women's match between Fremantle City and the NTC. Scores all tied at the break, one apiece. Monique Prinsloo opened the scoring and Claire Woods scored the equaliser for Fremantle City. Been a pretty good game overall. Let's see what the next 45 minutes brings us. A big game perhaps even at this early stage of the season for the top 4 shake-up. A win for City, if they can get it in the second half, will leapfrog them above the NTC, while the NTC will consolidate their place in a finals position if they can hold on to the point. And with results elsewhere, they may yet leap into second, depending on how the Mum FC and Perth game goes later on. But we're back and underway here at Wanthella Oval. Judy Connolly, who tries to turn around the corner for Baker. Now McCulloch find Ireland out wide. Lovely pass down the line from Ireland to find the goal scorer Claire Woods, who gets the better of her opponent. She crosses towards the edge of the area. It'll land at the feet of Laura Waltman, and then stepping in there and bringing the ball away was Maya Spatafor. Spatafor, a half-time change for Maya Thudliner as Tanisha Baker tries her luck from distance. Was Maya Spatafor, who came on at half-time for Wilma Thudliner in that right-back position. That was the only change. No changes for Fremantle City. Wallhead. Ball here for McKenna. Now Barrero will try and pick out the pace of Baker with a ball over the top. It's a good pass from Cameron Barrero, and now Tanisha Baker will cross left-footed. Lincoln was arriving on the penalty spot, but it was charged down by a Fremantle City defender, and Tian McKenna will try and drive through, but came off her boot last, and it'll be a goal kick for Fremantle City. Kick taken by Indiana Cassili. Georgie Island. Cassidy. McKenna. That's a lovely looking pass here to release Grace Johnston, and Cassidi was off her line and in a really good position to deal with that. But back come the NTC through Connolly. Connolly goes to ground, so does Woods. Nadeo stays on her feet. Tangle of legs in there in midfield, and eventually Woods emerges with possession. And Fremantle City play out from the back pretty well as Nadeo looks up and finds Buxy, and now onto Campo, who looks to drive forward. Her ball forward was into the channel looking for Leak, but a little too far away from the centre forward. A real fluid front line that Fremantle City are showing in this game so far, and now they might get punished at the other end as Cassidy will drive into the area. Last touch, was it off Cassili? No, it wasn't. It'll be a goal kick for Fremantle City. Just back on that Fremantle City front three, it's been really fluid so far this evening. We've had Annabelle Leake, who's on the left. She was central a moment ago. She was on the right at periods of the half. Claire Woods is on the right at the moment. She's acted as that's the central striker tonight so far, and Georgie Island is more or less played as a false nine/attacking midfielder, and that's been something that's worked for Fremantle City tonight, I think, in terms of their movement and being able to pressure and press this NTC defence. McCulloch's throw. Nadio was wanting it short. It'll go in the way of her again. Secondary throw coming. Now it's over the head of Baker, and Nadillo is managed to find her way in behind. Barrero was in a good position there to defend that situation, and out into touch it goes. It suddenly turned into a beautiful evening for football here in Geraldton. A cold one, but a still one nevertheless. A Saturday of NPL action, which is focused on top 4 positions. In terms of these two teams, it's as you were pending results elsewhere. Fremantle City will win a corner. It's the right of your screen. It'll be Kayla McCulloch who heads over to take this set piece. She's not quite had the same space that she did in the first half to roam into the space provided to her. She will hoist this one into the penalty area, though. In it comes. It's going to be headed away by Barrero. In fact, it was headed on by Barrero. You maybe misjudged that slightly, but it worked out okay. And now the pace of Prinsloo will be released. She's only really got Lincoln ahead of her at the moment. It's a good ball from Prinsloo. Bridger has to be good here, and she was. In fact, it was Campo who was in the best position there to deal with there, and Fremantle City should be able to clear their lines here. They do. Through Buxy, and then Woods, who's dropped. Well, in fact, it's Ben Trinder, sorry, who's there and in the right spot. And now Woods will look up for Leak. Ball will be left to roll into touch by Connolly, who scored a pearler of a free kick last week for the NTC against Curtin. Go and have a look at that one on the Football West social channels if you've not seen it yet. Cracking goal that kissed the underside of the crossbar on its way through. Now McKenna. Little scoop ball over the top. Flick on from Johnston. Baker got ahead to it. It'll be gathered by Casilli. Of course, we don't have to wait too long for these sides to meet again either. It'll be Fremantle City and the NTC facing off in the last date of the Women's State Cup on the public holiday Monday next weekend, long weekend, WA Day. That game will be played at Warhop Park. As Johnston comes forward, she's got room to run into. She's not going to get closed down, and she does strike, but over the bar. Quarterfinals that weekend, Mum FC and the Southwest Phoenix, Balcatta and Perth in an Italian derby, and Sorrento FC of Division 1 playing at home to the Redbacks at Percidor Reserve. The men's team Sorrento going down by a goal to nil earlier today in the NPLWA men's clash. Preceded this one. And at the moment it's NTC 1, Fremantle City 1. As Cassidy goes all the way back to Spatafore. Wallhead. Strong defending there. She marauds out of her defensive half and she's joining the attack now, but pass back was a little wayward and Leak was able to step in, and now Woods has been released by Georgie Island. It's Claire Woods. It's charged down by Cassidy, who was retreating really well, the midfield runner. And she's actually managed to keep it in play over on that far side. is hemmed away over in that far corner at the moment. Waltman will drop that one down. The cross comes in. It's a bit of a cross shot in the end. Nobody there at the back post for Fremantle City, and now Baker will be able to scoot her way down this left-hand side. She's corralled by Woods, who's put in a power of work this evening so far. McKenna, Buxy stepped in. It was well done from McKenna to maintain possession, and now Cassidy will look back for Barrero. And NTC continue to play out of the back. It's good football from them. It's a ball over the top looking for the pace of Prinsloo, who will do well to keep that one in the goal scorer, and she unfortunately can't for the NTC. NTC side who have been in really good form on the road in general, actually. It's an interesting game tonight, given that it is an away game for both teams in essence. But the last time that the NTC were actually defeated on the road was in the Albany regional game last year, back in round 7, apologies, of 2020. And before that, they lost to Murdoch University Melville on the synthetic down there at the Murdoch campus. But NTC and their away form has been really good, all things considered. And considering the strength of a lot of the teams in this league and the teams that have been pushing both last season into the top 4 and this season as well. Turnover by Fremantle City. Baker will strike. It's charged down. Still going to Nisha Baker. Pulled back for Connolly, who's capable from this distance, but pass was wayward on that occasion. And then Ireland can't reel it in, and that'll allow Wallhead to come forward. She floats one over the top looking for Johnston, who's offside. And in the end, the shot was straight at Casilli in any case. McKenna. Connolly. Lincoln. Floated ball looking for Baker. Back for Lincoln, who's trying to spin away from McCulloch. Can't do so. And now Woods will clear forward to Ireland, who's rather isolated and does really well to win the free kick in the end with 4 NTC players with her. Bridges ball forward. It may break to Woods here, who swings a boot at it and misses. It's still a bit of a scramble in there. Freo emerge with the ball, and the decision goes the way of NTC despite a stunning finish from the duo. Who picked out the top corner there and perhaps was a little unfortunate that one didn't count. It was a wonderful strike, but Jess Bird spotted something in the build-up. Prinsloo. Johnston. Waltman tries to thread one through for Woods, but direction was a little off on that occasion. Ben Trinder. Buxy. Switch the play is a good one. It was just a little heavy for Waltman, though. The idea was right, though. Bailey, Wallhead. Stepping in Waltman, good aggressive defending. Woods is offside. NTC get things moving again through Barrero. So just over an hour played here at One Thela Oval. It's NTC 1, Fremantle City 1. The second half hasn't quite had the same vigour as the first. It's become a lot more of a tactical battle, particularly in the centre of the park. Both teams really cutting that supply out through the middle of the pitch and forcing each other to play down the channels. Just the one change in case you're joining us late. Maya Spadafore coming on at half-time for Wilma Thudlana. Fremantle City remain unchanged, and now Connolly has stayed on side here. She's wriggled away between a couple of challenges. That was an important tackle from Ben Trinder, and then she goes in again with a second bite at it and wins it once more. That was really good defending there. Player who spent time in the US college system in Florida. And now Woods, who slides the ball through. I'm not sure McCulloch stayed on side here. If she has, it's a good opportunity for Fremantle to keep the pressure up, and she did stay on side and she did win the corner. So well done to Kayla McCulloch for not giving up on that lost cause. And she's earned her team a set piece here, which will be taken by Georgie Island. Plenty of numbers forward for Fremantle here. They've got 6 in the penalty area. There'll be Island's delivery. It's low and flat. It went through everybody nearly. McKenna has to hook away. I think it was McCulloch there who was at the back post and looking to get involved. And now the NTC will look to counter through Prinsloo, who's going to try and take on Campo for pace. But that's good defending there from City's number 21. Regular at under 23 level. Goldfields player as well, selected in the under 18 school sports state under 18s team. Eva Campo, and she's had a good game back in defence this evening. Georgia Cassidy. Now Cameron Barrero. She's got Tanisha Baker here on this near side. She'll flick inside to McKenna, and then she'll go running after the return past Tanisha Baker. Nadillo with an excellent piece of tracking back from midfield, and then the last touch came off Baker there. Well, I thought so, and Nadillo did as well. In the end, it mattered to nothing. Leak. Now Waltman's got a little bit of space to run into over on that far side. She'll try and release Woods with the pass. Bailey was high and off her line though, and it was crucial because without her there, Woods would have been through on goal. NTC substitution coming up here. Grace Johnston will depart. Reverse pass here for Leake, who's onside. Annabelle Leake. Bailey was in position A to save, and it was a good block in the end. Lovely reverse pass to find Annabelle Leake there, and she got it on target but couldn't beat Bailey. McKenna spins it wide. Ball is played up the line here for Prinsloo, who's onside and who's charging down the right. The cross is into the area. It's charged down by Bent Trinder. Still there for Prinsloo. Lincoln will try and win the 50-50, and Nadillo hoiks it away. Ireland tries to make something happen. She's all on her own, really, with the exception of Woods, and once again, she's done a really good job in an isolated situation there, Georgia Ireland. McKenna. Spatafore. Prinsloo. Open the scoring, of course, for the NTC in the first half. Ball is into the feet of Woods, but she was coming from an offside position. Tanisha Baker. Lovely pass there for Connolly, who's got time to turn, and she'll sell Boxy and keep moving forward here. She's going to pull the pass wide for Cassidy, who looks up, and she'll try and get the switch on for Prinsloo. It was cut out, but the NTC retained possession. Waltman takes it off the toes of Spatafore. Ireland will try and return it to Waltman, but I think she was a little worried about staying onside, and in the end the attack broke down. And now Barrero will try and pick out Prinsloo, but it's headed away by Campo. Nadillo. Woods. Leak turning away, and then the ball forward from Nadillo again. McCulloch. Bridger. Inside from Nadillo. And now Bent Trinder. Campo let the ball pass her, and that's allowed Prinsloo to try and run at her now. It's Monique Prinsloo who goes to ground. No foul there, according to the referee. And now coming the other way is Fremantle City through Ireland. She's got two up with her at the moment. One of them's Woods, the other is Leake. And now McCulloch will arrive. No, she won't. She didn't continue her run, and in the end it was easy enough for Cassidy to pick up, and then that's a tremendous pass to release Baker, but great reading of the play from Bridger to cut that one out. Foul throw there by the NTC player. And that will allow Fremantle City to turn to the bench for the first time this evening. And it'll be Alia Bent Trinder who comes off, and on in her place is Alia Yorquera. Who's been in every single matchday senior squad this season. She'll slot into the centre of defence next to Bridger. So just under 20 minutes to play. Still, it's NTC 1, Fremantle City 1. Corner taken quickly here for Fremantle City, and NTC were asleep there in Ireland. Couldn't make them pay in the end. Tian McKenna. Cut out there by Campo. Pass was into the feet of Leake, and now Wallhead will find Barrero. Sliding in there. There's a challenge on Boxy, who's come out of that 50-50 a little worse for wear. We're about to see Olivia Truman introduced shortly for the NTC. She's just going through her final preparations. Also got Mia Yo and Janice Kiyama just about to go and warm up for Fremantle City as well. Both teams looking to introduce some fresh legs heading into the final 15 to 20 minutes. We're still deadlocked at 1 apiece. Good crowd still here at Monthella Oval. Watching the second of this NPLWA doubleheader tonight. Still locked at 1 apiece. Who can find the breakthrough in the final quarter of an hour or so of this one? Barrero looks up, finds Lincoln, who gets the better of Boxy. It's a lovely turn of pace from Lincoln, and she slid the ball into Tanisha Baker here. It's Baker who's crossing. It's aimed in at the back post for Prinsloo, and the last touch was off Waltman, and it's behind for a corner. Prinsloo was arriving with intent, and Waltman had to make the interception, and she did. Corner taken quickly here. Cross into the middle. It's drifted over the bar. Disappointing delivery on that occasion for the NTC, and now they will turn to the bench and make their third substitution of the evening. And it will be Prinsloo, the goal scorer, who makes way, and on will come Olivia Truman. Truman, who was the NPLWA Under-23 Golden Boot winner in 2020 with 14 goals in 14 games. Certainly earned her opportunity at first team level, and she scored in the 5-1 defeat to Mum FC back in round 2. Can she come on now and make a match-winning contribution? McKenna into the feet of Lincoln, who's trying to release the pass for Baker here, who's offside. It looked tight. Cassidy stepping in and almost winning the ball off of Boxy there. Yorquera got her teammate out of trouble, and now Waltman will try and skip away down the left. She passes looking for Ireland. It's cut out by Spatafore. Tian McKenna, Cameron Barrero. Looks up and sees Tanisha Baker. Crossfield ball will Try and pick out the late run of Cassidy. Lincoln is battling for possession. It's up in the air. It's eventually cleared away by Campo. Woods, great play there to hold the ball up, and she gets it back, although the pass is a little short for Ireland. Connolly. Cassidy runs into Waltman. Cassidy goes back to try and win the ball. 4 players converge on it here, and Nadillo emerges with possession. Lifts that one forward, but no teammate on the same wavelength, unfortunately. McKenna. Releasing pass here is a good one. The pullback is on, but Yorquera is cutting that one out. It's Truman who was trying to make an impact for the first time since coming on, and now Baker will cut this one out. Ireland, lovely footwork. Barrero should be able to sort this one out. She does. Cassidy and Ireland battling for possession, and Ireland wins the 50-50 from Jess Bird. And that will allow Fremantle City to just step up and send a few players forward, catch their breath. It's been a real tough battle in this second half. Still plenty of time though. Barrero clears from Bridges' free kick. It's Campo who's lifting it over, looking for Waltman. It's headed away, and then Campo sends that one forward again. Bailey's off her line quickly to deal with it. Leak. Spatafore. Switch of the play wasn't a good one. It was cut out by McCulloch. And then her pass in return was cut out by McKenna, who looks to try and shake off Woods, who sticks to the task really well. Lovely pass from Barrero. Touch from Cassidy was a little heavy. It nearly worked, and then Ireland showed good body work there, and a wonderful through ball here to release Claire Woods, who strikes the goal. It was straight at Bailey. She had to make the save though, and she did just that. NTC caught a little flat-footed at the back, and in the end Bailey did well enough to get in a good position to save, and now NTC will come down the other side of the pitch. It's Fremantle City though who can step in and put the ball in a touch. Cross from Lincoln, gathered by Casilli. Wallhead, who's been involved with the Perth Glory W League setup now for the last couple of seasons, to Spatafore, and now Truman will try and get the better of Waltman. She's still going here, Olivia Truman, uses her teammate Spatafore. The pass was looking for Truman once again, but Waltman was able to step in, and she'll try and shield this one out. It's not crossed the line yet, and now it does. So 10 minutes to play. NTC 1, Fremantle City 1, live on the Football West YouTube channel and Facebook pages this evening. Tommy Dolman with you on the call. Who can get a late winner in this game and boost their top 4 hopes in season 2021? It's the NTC on the front foot at the moment, although they've had to retreat all the way back to Bailey in the end. Ireland turns around the corner and passes, but Woods was offside. Looks as though we're going to see some fresh legs for Fremantle City in a moment. Meanwhile, it's Olivia Truman taking on Eva Campo down that right-hand side. Both players go to ground. Truman emerges with the ball and pulls back for Connolly, who strikes. And it was a great block in there from the Dillo, I think it was, who was working back from midfield to support her team. They've got to defend a corner here now. We've got Janice Kiyama and Mia Yo who are about to come on for Fremantle City. I wonder if this corner will be taken first. I think it will be, yes. So Barrero will swing this one in left-footed. It's aimed in towards that near post. It's into the side netting, and now these 2 changes should be made. We're going to see Janice Kiyama come in, who's going to make her senior debut tonight. Mainly played at under-23s level with Fremantle City, and we're also going to see Mia Yo onto the field, who's Hyundai NTC under-15 associate player. Or at least she was last season anyway. And a player who was the NPLW Women's Under-23 Player of the Year last year, Mia Yo. So what can she do to impress at senior level in the final 7.5 minutes or so? It was Annabelle Leake and Coral Buxey who made way. Ball over the top here is a good one for Truman if it stays in play. She runs out of room though, and Casilli will be grateful to accept the goal kick. Fremantle City trying to play their way out from the back. They'll emerge with a throw in. Skewed off the outside of Bridges' boot and out for an NTC throw, which Barrero will run forward to take. In fact, it was a corner and it was taken quickly to Cassidy, and now Lincoln will sling this one in left-footed. It was aimed in at the near post and gathered by Casilli. Ella Lincoln, a Bayswater junior who represented WA girls at under-15 level. Went back to Bayswater as an associate player post-lockdown in 2020 after starting the season with NTC and playing in that night series final defeat. Lincoln's a 3-way tie for the top scorer at NTC, along with Judy Connolly and now Monique Prinsloo, who netted today as the shot comes in from distance. McKenna. Cassidy's to her left. Little ball over the top's a clever one here for Connolly, who's in behind. It's Judy Connolly. It's saved by Casilli. Flag stayed down. Big chance for the NTC leading into the final 5 minutes. There's a lovely ball forward there. I think it was Ella Lincoln who released the striker and, the attacking midfielder Connolly, who broke forward from midfield and found herself through on goal, and now Woods is putting the pressure on Bailey, and her swinging kick out wide will be gathered by Baker. Been that sort of game tonight. Second half perhaps has as many thrills as the first, but there could still be late drama here as Bailey comes and gathers from McCulloch and makes up for her earlier error. I've seen both teams really wanting to try and play out from the back so far this evening, and that's led to some errors at times. Could be that error or that moment of magic now that wins the game for either team inside the last 5 minutes. Fremantle City trying to break a 3-game winless run. NTC trying to win a fourth straight game and go unbeaten in 6. They're pressing here, and the ball forward's a good one here for Woods, who managed to shake off Barrero, but Wallhead was in the right spot to deal with it. And now Woods, and now Yo is away here, and she's got the pace to trouble Spatafore. Mia Yo, she nearly shrugged off her opponent, and in the end Spatafore did a great job to stay with her. And now Laura Waltman will strike one from distance, and it was straight into the grateful arms of Bailey once more. The goalkeepers come up with a couple of pretty big saves in this second period. Still, we remain deadlocked at 1 apiece. Barrero wide. Spatafore, possession turned over. It hit the back of Nadillo's head, although she managed to emerge with the ball. She did really well, and then poked the pass through looking for Yo. Woods managed to find Waltman, who looks for Ireland, and then Ireland tries her luck from long range, and Bailey was able to gather comfortably. Ball forward from Barrero. Truman will try and get the better of Waltman. Waltman goes to ground. Truman continues her run. It's pulled back for Connolly, and Connolly got under it, and over the bar it went, and Waltman's remained down behind the play here, and Jess Bird will go over to check if she's okay. So we touched on the Cup next week, the women's quarterfinals of the State Cup. These two teams will meet again on the public holiday Monday. In the league, though, Fremantle City will travel to Subiaco, and then the games after the Cup are Murdoch University, Melville at home, and then Curtin at home. NTC, meanwhile, will travel to Mum FC on Friday night next week. That should be a cracker under the lights on the Murdoch synthetic, and then they play the Redbacks and Perth at home after that. So a tough run when you add in this trip up to Geraldton away against the top 4 finalists of last season. A real test of the youngsters' medal in the weeks to come. NTC, of course, playing in their second regional game. Last season they were defeated 2-1 by Perth with 2 goals from Liana Cook. Can they claim the Women's Regional Cup here with a late goal, or will it be Fremantle City who provide the late twist? It's Kiyama who tries to bring down Connolly. Connolly still continues, and then Jess Bird brings back the free kick for the initial infringement. Seconds ticking down up to the 90-minute mark. Connolly stood over this one. NTC have got 3 back here on the halfway line, and Cassidy in the left-back position, so they've not committed too many numbers forward, and that may be because Judy Connolly is going to have a crack. We saw what she did last week. 2 minutes got from the fourth official. It's Connolly's free kick, and it's gathered well by Casilli, who was able to see it from a long way out. It would have taken a special effort to beat the goalkeeper from there. And on this occasion, there was no repeat of last week's free kick. Nadillo, Kiyama. She was looking for Waltman, but Wallhead stepped in. And now the NTC will try and get something going. The ball from Cassidy has picked out Baker. Sliding across there was Bridger. Baker will still emerge with the ball. She'll pull it back for Tian McKenna, who slides to Cassidy. Cassidy lets it run. It's Judy Connolly on the edge of the area. Truman is wide right. And Waltman will stand her up well. Still pressing the NTC. Waltman sticks a boot in and then goes to ground. Still the NTC come. Connolly's ball in and gathered by Casilli. And Fremantle City will take a couple more seconds off the clock here. It's definitely the NTC who are making their way forward in terms of trying to find a winner here. Nadio with 2 good efforts wins the ball. And I thought Woods was going to come away with the ball, but it was a foul by Nadillo, according to Jess Bird. And this may give NTC one last opportunity to win the game now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players ahead of the ball. Cassidy's over the free kick. Wallhead will go forward and join the attack as well. Cassidy's long ball forward. Casilli will gather. It was a little too close to the goalkeeper. Ireland switch of the play for McCulloch. Last touch off McKenna. Can Fremantle City create one last opportunity? Got to hurry. Bridger forward. She loops that one over. Barrero clears, and it ends all square here. Hyundai NTC 1, Fremantle City 1. Both goals scored in the first half. It was Monique Prinsloo who opened the scoring with a goal in the first half, and then after a wonderful Tanisha Baker assist, and then down the other end of the pitch, a pretty quick response from Claire Woods, who rifled in at the near post and beat Lily Bailey. A real open first 45 minutes here in Geraldton. It was much tighter in the second period. Both teams weren't as willing to let the kamikaze football continue, but there were still pretty good chances. Laura Waltman and Claire Woods had good chances, as Lily Bailey had to make a couple of good saves. And then the NTC also pressed late on for that winner as well, with Judy Connolly striking over the bar late on. But ultimately it ends 1 apiece here. NTC's unbeaten record extends to 5 now. Their run of 3 wins comes to an end, but they're going to stay in the top 4 tonight. No matter what happens in the Perth Soccer Club and Murdoch University Melville game that's going on elsewhere, while Fremantle City will get a second draw on the spin. They may stay 5th depending on what happens in the Balcatta and Northern Redbacks game tomorrow, but their winless run now extends to 4. So it's been a great day of football here in Geraldton at One Thella Oval. An NPLWA doubleheader, the men's and women's competitions. In the men's game earlier today, it was Perth Glory who won by a 1-0 with the division's leading scorer Joshua Anasmo scoring the game's decisive goal, which moved Perth Glory to within a point of Sorrento in the race for the top 4. And then in this second match, the women's clash between Fremantle City and the NTC, it was a point apiece for both of these teams. And it's basically as you were in terms of the race for the top 4 as we approach the 1/3 mark of the campaign. That's just about all time we've got for here in the Midwest region. We'll cross down to a bit imam with the presentations momentarily. Thanks for your company tonight, wherever you may have been watching on the Football West YouTube channel and Facebook pages. My name's been Tommy Dolman, and we'll see you at an NPL ground very soon indeed. Good night.
West CEO James Curtis, who takes photos with both teams. And this is the last game in a triple header in fantastic regional festival of football. So both teams can please come forward. Join our guests. Full teams, please. Squeezing into the photo, both teams.
Awesome. I do, man.
For this fantastic event, who are supporting regional football, DLTSC, the Hyundai, City of Greater Geraldton. Thanks to the 4 travelling teams, Perth Glory, the Hyundai NTC, Sorrento and Fremantle City, put on a really great spectacle for everyone. We hope you all enjoy the matches. Thanks for your continued support of football. Drive safe and